This is David Herzenhorn. I'm a correspondent for the New York Times based in Moscow, now covering the more than 2-week-old civic uprising in Kiev, Ukraine, where thousands upon thousands of demonstrators have taken to the streets, furious with the government of President Viktor Yanukovych. The first sign that something unusual was happening came just before midnight. All of a sudden there were intermittent power outages in Kiev, something that residents here say rarely ever happens, and then the lights were out for good. At that point, police were mobilizing into the square with interlocking shields, breaking through barricades. They later cleared out large swaths of this territory, pushing the protesters back into one segment of the plaza right in front of their stage. But what we saw also is that even as the authorities were moving in, they were using less force than they did during a bloody crackdown on November 30th. Their truncheons were at their sides, but they weren't used. They merely pushed the protesters back again and again until they had removed the perimeter and forced them into a smaller enclosed area. We also saw this strange parallel situation that we've seen virtually every night, where at some points you have angry protesters demonstrating loudly for the resignation of the government, and at the same time one of the biggest street parties you've ever seen, with music acts on stage, people dancing to keep warm, singing along. Every hour or so they'll sing the Ukrainian national anthem. It's quite a display of both patriotism and fury. By about 10:30 this morning, the security forces pulled back, having left a rather cleared space at the north and south entrances to the plaza. Within hours, those barricades were back up. Now what we see are re-energized crowds and an uncertain future here. Police have shown they can move in, they can clear the square. The demonstrators showing their resolve by being out here again on the stage, again in the plaza. So it'll be an exciting few days ahead.